Gorillas are one of our closest living relatives, and yet they're also among the rarest animals on Earth, at the brink of extinction. Humans are to blame for their demise. Their body parts are used in traditional medicine. Diseases have been spread by people entering the forest. They have lost vast expanses of land to human development. And they are killed and eaten, illegally harvested to feed an ever-growing population. We are pushing a close cousin out of existence. Why should we care? Get to know a typical day for a typical family and find out. In legend, the huge, fearsome male gorilla was something to fear. His maturity is written in his fur. An iconic silverback. The term given to male gorillas that, like humans, develop some grey hair with age. He stands about as tall as an average man, but weighs more than twice as much. A mass of muscle. He's immensely powerful. But does he throw his weight around? Not so much. Actually, he uses his incredible power to defend his family. And today, he stands proud, watching over his newborn son. He is the dominant animal in a troop of about a dozen. His family members are all females and their offspring. He fathered each of the babies in this troop. A new baby causes great excitement in the group. Everyone wants to meet the new arrival. For their own safety, all of the gorillas in the troop need to know each other. They must learn to recognize one another and help to keep the clan together. The mother is protective. This is her first baby. Like humans, gorillas are slow to mature. They don't start to breed until they reach their teens. Even fully grown, the mother's only half the weight of the silverback. This little one arrived, like a human baby, after nearly 9 months of pregnancy. Just like a human infant, it's entirely dependent on its mother, and will stay in physical contact with her for at least its first 5 months of life. Even after a year, young gorillas are rarely out of arm's reach of their mothers. Most of the other infants in the troop are 2 or 3 years old and hang out together for fun and games. But there's not much opportunity for playtime this morning. The silverback watches carefully. The responsibility for the health and safety of the whole family rests squarely on his broad shoulders. He decides on a plan each day to safely get his family to food and water. And now it's time to leave. The troop's home range is about 10 square kilometers, deep in the heart of West Africa's tropical rainforest. A dense, tangled mass of forest and wetland. A maze to most, but the silverback knows his patch like the back of his hand. His intimate knowledge is vital to provide his family with all that they need. He might lead them over 1,000 meters a day to ensure a fresh supply of food. His ability to plan for the future, based on experience from the past, is an example of the gorilla's deep intelligence. This nomadic lifestyle also ensures that no one patch of forest is overused and will be good to return to in the future. One of the key reasons for keeping on the move is to follow the ripening of fruit trees. Finding fresh fruit for breakfast is his plan. Dense jungle can harbor many dangers, which is why the family must stay together. They also keep safe by being aware of their other animal neighbors. If the birds and monkeys are quiet, the gorillas are safe. If they spot danger, they will sound the alarm. But for now, it sounds like the troop is safe to proceed. Their homeland is crisscrossed with streams and rivers. One of the outcomes of living in a rainforest. Humans are the only great apes that seem to enjoy a dunk. The others prefer not to paddle if they can help it. They cautiously test the water. Tool use was thought to be a strictly human trait, but wild gorillas have been seen using logs as bridges and placing long sticks in the water to measure its depths. Fortunately, today they don't need to. They trust the silverback's choice in leading them through the shallows. The youngsters seem to have a mixed reaction to the experience. One is so unsure that she tries to find a way to climb over. But others see it as yet another excuse to play. Gorillas rarely drink. They get plenty of moisture from their plant diet, but the crossing gives them the chance to take a sip. Then they're on their way. A troop of drills are already foraging on fallen fruit when they arrive. The drills are baboon cousins that specialize in rainforest living. Like the gorillas, they live in clans of 10 to 20, led by a dominant male. They seem happy to move on when the silverback leads his family in. Though gorillas spend a lot of time on the ground, they retain good climbing skills, and the youngsters seem to race up to reach the ripest fruits. Their efforts dislodge plenty of others, so the heavyweight silverback can sit underneath and take his pick. He sniffs the fruit to check it's ripe. Dad's done well. There's a feast for the family. Once all their bellies are full, it's time for a siesta. Most of them make a bed before they settle, either in the trees or on the ground, pulling together leaves and branches to make a comfortable mattress. Another example of gorilla tool use. While the adults are quick to get some shut-eye, it would be peaceful were it not for the youngsters. The little ones seem to have different ideas. It's not just babies in the group. There are adolescents as well, much bigger and stronger individuals who have not yet reached maturity. But as they develop and hormones kick in, they can get a bit boisterous. Sometimes their games get a bit out of hand. The father doesn't care for the young directly, like the mothers, but will intervene to stop them getting hurt. The big boys play too rough. But not for long. The adolescent male gets a telling off. Gorillas are strong and can be rough, but serious injuries are rare. It's just enough to put him in his place. The young male will soon face a choice. Most gorillas leave their family as they reach maturity. Young males have the choice of staying, but only if they're willing to remain subordinate to the silverback. He'll keep them around as wingmen to help guard the family, as long as they are willing to follow his lead. With the fight settled, Mum pulls her youngster in for a feed. But now there is no time to rest. The biggest of primates have huge appetites. The silverback might eat 20 kilos of food a day. So the troop heads out for afternoon tea. This time, the silverback has a different menu in mind. But access to it is dependent on other jungle residents. Forest elephants. Slightly smaller than Africa's savanna elephant, and with distinctive round ears and downward-pointing tusks. Though small by elephant standards, at up to 4 tons apiece, they have a massive impact on the surrounding landscape. New science has shown that forest elephants are guardians of the jungle, dispersing seeds and keeping the canopy open. Just one herd on the move is enough to create pathways thanks to their bulk. By letting light reach the forest floor, they encourage a greater diversity of plants and allow tree roots to get stronger, resulting in a bigger, healthier canopy. They are ecosystem engineers. And their biggest impact is when they are trying to fulfill a craving for salt. Jungle plants are low in sodium, and so the elephants dig into salty mud so they can drink up a mineral-rich smoothie. The impacts of their salt cravings are dramatic. The elephants create huge glades, places where light can fall on the ground, encouraging grasses and other plants to grow, and where water, rich in minerals, is easily available. The clearings attract forest buffalo, African grey parrots, antelope, and a host of other wildlife. Today, including the gorilla family. The pachyderms have created a salad bar, rich in the gorilla's favorite herbs and sedges. Gorillas have been recorded to use more than 25 different sounds to communicate. One of the most endearing is humming. When humans tuck into dessert or an especially tasty meal, we often make yum sounds to show our appreciation. Gorillas do the same. And thanks to the silverback's good leadership skills, soon the whole troop is humming contentedly. With thick stems, they strip off the tough outer layers and chew on the softer pulp within. It's not long before bellies are bulging. Suddenly, an uneasy tension spreads across the troop. The males heard something. Bearing the responsibility of the group's safety, it's hard for him to relax. Thanks to his vigilance, this disturbance hasn't gone unnoticed. Unsure of the threat, the females stand on their back legs to get a better view. A leopard, one of the few animals that might threaten a gorilla's life. A quiet signal is given, and the young know to return to their mothers, clinging on in case a quick exit is required. The male is ready to fight. He wouldn't hesitate to risk his own life to protect his troop. But the leopard is an ambush predator, relying on its camouflage to sneak up on potential prey. Now that it's been spotted, there's little chance of a successful hunt, and it knows better than to risk a counterattack from the huge silverback. Though the danger has diminished, the silverback makes the wise decision to take his troop back into the depths of the forest. If you know where to look, there's still plenty to eat. And although plants make up nearly all of the gorilla's diets, they are not averse to a bit of protein. An experienced female knows exactly where to look. She rips off bark, knowing termites will be sheltering underneath. With the termite mound exposed, she can tear off chunks and eat at her leisure. It's a bit like eating a wriggling pomegranate. Instead of picking the tasty seeds from the pith, she must fish out termites from their honeycomb home. Sometimes it's easier to shake them out. Her youngster dashes in to see what she's up to. Gorillas have long periods with their mothers, up to 6 years, and this is why: to watch and learn. Brow furrowed in concentration, the little one knows if he can master this technique, he'll be rewarded with a tasty snack. His study pays off. This is how learning spreads through the troop, watching and copying. But that's enough for now. It's been a long day. Time for the family to retire. While the troop is settling down, one of the females is feeling frisky. Rolling on her back to flirt, she solicits the male's attention. And they adopt the missionary position. Making love face to face was once thought to be a strictly human trait. Then, finally, the family can enjoy a peaceful night. Gorillas are like us in so many ways. They have growth rates like humans, where young need nurturing, and it takes years for them to build their impressive knowledge. The long schooling is a sign of intelligence. They have been shown to be capable of laughter. They have strong emotional relationships and will grieve for their dead. We share 98% of the same DNA as gorillas. They are not as different from us as you might think. These gentle giants are guardians of the forest, vital in spreading seeds as they forage. There are 4 kinds of gorilla. This family are western lowland gorillas, the commonest kind. But common is a relative term. There are less than 100,000 of them. They are considered critically endangered. The other 3 kinds are much rarer. And these, cross-river gorillas, never filmed before, are the rarest of all. With just 300 left. It's shocking that we can let our closest relatives reach such dire low numbers. But there are people trying to make a difference. Dedicated field researchers, rangers, and anti-poaching patrols spend decades in the forest, working in difficult conditions in order to protect and study the last gorillas. Orphans are brought to wildlife rehabilitation centres, where they are shown love and kindness, and where they can become ambassadors for their relatives in the wild. Most rescued gorillas are kept in clans, trying to replicate their lifestyles in the wild. But not this one. After seeing her mother killed for meat and being abused as a baby, she was rescued and became the only cross-river gorilla ever brought into captivity. For most of her life, people were the only family she knew. But they did their best to fulfill her need to have a loving family. She lived in captivity for 12 years. During her life, she showed just how close humans and gorillas are. She didn't have keepers. She had friends. If only more humans would extend the hand of friendship and care this much about their closest cousins, ensuring a future for us all.